An inquiry has been launched into the causes of the shooting last year that so shocked the close-knit community.
13-year-old Mitchell Johnson and 11-year-old Andrew Golden.
A lever-action rifle to Pearl High School.
Parents of the victims are
in Columbine, Colorado today.
Granted calls for gun laws for Kevin Cacciadorian.
Killing 12 students and important we understand this phenomena.
February 25th, 2001. Dear Franklin, there were 4 school shootings in the spring of '98. I remember Westside in particular because it happened the day the doctor fitted Celia's prosthetic eye.
Scenes of horror today.
We returned from the clinic to find you and Kevin in front of the TV. And for once, you aren't watching Happy Days.
Mitchell Johnson and 11-year-old Andrew Golden opened fire on their schoolyard. They killed 4 students and a teacher and wounded 10 other people.
27 bullets, 16 hits. For little kids, that's a fair percentage.
Claim Andrew wanted to kill all the girls who'd ever broken up with him.
He's 11. How many girlfriends has he had?
On average, about 20. Hump 'em and dump 'em.
I turn off the TV and send Celia to draw me a picture.
They had no idea what they were doing.
You kidding? That took planning.
I mean, they're too young to understand death, the value of life.
Oh, they knew the value of life, all right. That's the problem.
Could something like Westside happen at Gladstone?
Oh, yeah. All the kids hate life, Dad. They all play shoot-'em-up computer games and watch violent videos. And all their dads have guns.
This isn't about guns. It's about fame. These brats see Moses Lake and Pearl splashed all over the news, and they want a piece.
Damaged.
It'll only stop when it becomes so passé it's not newsworthy. But until then, Kevin, I keep a close eye on your classmates. As I reconstruct this little speech, its message becomes all too clear. Get in quick, Kevin, while school shootings are still cool. A few days later, there's a gun scare at Kevin's school, following an anonymous tip-off. No guns are found, but police discover a hit list in Miguel Espinosa's locker. I'm not making any accusations, Franklin. Merely observing. Anyway, it all adds a certain frisson to Parents' Evening, which is when I meet Kevin's English teacher, Dana Rocco.
Your son is quite an enigma, Mrs. Cacciadorian. What's his game?
I've been told he has an attention deficit disorder.
A fashionable label, but it doesn't fit. Tell me, is there anything he doesn't scorn?
Archery.
He seems very angry.
He's always been like that. There hasn't been any terrible trauma or deprivation.
Do you get on as a family?
His father adores him. She nods thoughtfully.
Well, what I wanted to tell you is this. Don't worry. Your son's as sharp as a tack. When he shows his true colors, I promise you, he'll astound us all.
Dana smiles at me.
And I want you to give Kevin a message for me. Tell him I'm on to him.
I'd often thought the same, but I'd never have asserted it so cheerfully. Eva. February 28th, 2001. Dear Franklin, the gun scare was soon old news. It was overtaken by a new scandal.
Kev?
It starts with a letter from the school.
Eva? Come here a sec.
What's up?
Kev? It's about your drama teacher, Miss Brogorski.
Uh-huh.
Well, what's she like?
I don't know. Kind of hinky.
Hinky how?
Kevin scuffs imaginary dirt with the toe of his sneaker.
She doesn't dress like a teacher. Tight jeans and her blouse. The buttons. It's kind of embarrassing.
So she dresses provocatively. Big deal.
She uses dirty words.
What do you define as dirty?
Mumsy, can I talk to Dad? Just us. Do you mind?
I minded. Very much. But I didn't have a lot of choice, did I? and nor did you, once you heard what Kevin had to say. The disciplinary hearing is held in a classroom. Chairs are arranged either side of the teacher's desk. On one side sits Kevin and 3 other boys. On the other, Vicky Pogorski. She's young, quite pretty, although she's dressed in a drab dun suit for the occasion. She looks lost. The chairman of the school board, Alan Strickland, calls our son first.
Kevin, could you tell us what happened in Miss Pogorski's classroom?
Kevin assumes the same averted eye squirm he'd rehearsed with us.
Miss Pogorski's always been nice to me, Mr. Strickland. Real nice. I wouldn't want to get her into trouble.
Just tell us what happened, Kevin.
Kevin sandwiches his hands between his thighs and looks at the floor.
She asked me to stay after school. When I arrive, she's in this dress. She locks the door. I ask if I should start my monologue, and she says, first we have to work on my posture. She puts a hand on my chest and puts her other hand on my lower back and kind of rubs. I sure do stand up straight. I start my speech from Equus.
What happened next?
Kevin pauses, takes a deep breath.
She stops me. She says, "You have to remember this play is all about sex." She asks if I'd ever seen a horse, a stallion, if I'd seen its,
Penis?
Right. The size of it. And she puts her hand on my fly. I'm pretty embarrassed, 'cause with all that talk and her being so close...
You had an erection.
I try to get away. I keep saying I want to stop. It wasn't right.
So did she stop?
No. She keeps rubbing up and down through my jeans and talking about horses and what they make her want to do, and I
Ejaculated.
Kevin curls in his seat, a study of shame.
Then I run out.
Thank you, Kevin. That will be all.
The classroom is pin-drop silent. Vicky Pogorski has drooped bonelessly in her chair.
Miss Pogorski, it is your contention that this encounter never happened?
That's right.
Oh, that's a lie.
Did you invite Kevin to stay after school?
It was an open invitation to the whole class. Anyone who wanted to.
Did you put your hand on his chest?
He has a tendency to slouch, and I...
His lower back?
Maybe. But I never touched his...
What about Equus? Did Kevin choose that passage?
And so it goes on, touching on the virility of stallions, teenage sexuality, and the need to make lessons stimulating. Someone should have given the poor woman a shovel.
Do you think that's an appropriate choice?
Finally, deathly pale, Pogorski turns to our son.
What did I ever do to you?
That's just what we've been trying to find out. We have 3 further testimonies.
As it happens, we only hear one more. Lenny Pugh's testimony is so explicit, so slathered with porn site slang.
Thank you, Lenny.
Alan has to close the meeting. We would be notified. We drive home. Kevin is silent, but he's not traumatized. He's angry because Lenny went off the script. I am also silent. This cannot continue. Until Kevin has gone to bed. Celia's eye, a teacher's career. I can't keep looking the other way. Even for you.
Some pervert seduces our son and you...
He said she locked the door. The classrooms don't lock from the inside.
Why in God's name would Kevin make it up?
I don't know.
Our son has been sexually abused. I mean, he didn't claim she spread her legs and begged. He said she did it through his jeans. That's what convinced me.
Funny. That's exactly how I knew he was lying. That was when you collapsed. You didn't have the energy to maintain the fiction of our family any longer.
I thought we could make it until the kids were out of the house, but that's 10 years, Eva. I can't do it.
I wished I had never born our son. Even in that moment, Celia. I could have lived without children. I couldn't live without you. You've decided.
Well, there's nothing to decide, Eva. It's already happened.
You were right. I had been mourning our marriage for a decade. You went to bed. I sat. Kevin? He had been listening. It was obvious. He looked older, straighter. He'd taken off the mask of sarcasm. His eyes were furnace doors swung wide to bear the jets. Don't take anything you might have heard to heart. Out of context.
Oh, I know the context. I am the context.
I'm certain of it. That is when he decided. Eva. March 3rd, 2001. Dear Franklin, I was channel hopping this evening when the screen suddenly filled with our son's face. You'd think I'd be used to it by now, but I'm not.
I'm not looking for an excuse here.
And this isn't that ubiquitous 9th grade school photo.
Some girl.
It's filmed in Kevin's cell.
Me. One of the things I can't stand about this country is the lack of accountability.
Can we talk about your dad, Kevin?
The interviewer is Jack Marlin, the journalist who phoned me.
Did you fight? I wish. He was into this happy days fantasy. I love you, buddy. Should I just look at him like, who the hell do you think I am?
What about your mother?
What about her?
Well,
the camera zooms in on the cell's only decoration, that photograph. The one of me in Amsterdam looking so carefree and open. I thought he'd destroyed it.
But whether or not your mother was legally remiss...
Oh, lay off my mother. She's been all over the world. You know that? Set up her own business. Go into any bookstore. Check her out. Okay, she can be a bit crazy sometimes, but so can I. So we're even. The rest is private. Okay? Next question.
I turn off Franklin. I have to. But the red light continues to blink from the VCR. Soon as I'd seen Kevin's face, I'd hit record. Eva.